I basically just traced the shape of what I wanted the axe to be on the table I was using with that welding chop. Researching how to do all this fun stuff. It's a video for this, a video for that, one specifically for tying the paracord handle, one for bending the rebar, multiples for welding, anyway, so I thought I might do it all in the same video and save somebody else the effort. So anyway, I'm just making the handle at this point, making sure that it fits the outline there. And I didn't really measure anything. It was more of just eyeballing it and guessing and hope I got it correct. It's very nice having a little cheater bar to help bend the metal with. Because for one, even with gloves on, that metal is hot. So it helps.
I'm like a stick of dynamite and my fuse is lit. Can't you see, babe? I'm feeling like I'm bulletproof. Can't you see? I'm feeling like I'm bulletproof. Look at me, don't you know? Hey, can't you see I'm bulletproof? Don't try me.
And I made the mistake on here of not bending it, starting at the extreme tip and then going back. I bent it too close to the handle, and it did cause some problems later on. So it didn't quite have the shape that I wanted. But again, it was my first time doing it. Oh, and I also discovered that when you're welding, wear a long sleeve shirt. I knew it'll burn your eyes. I did not realize it would give you a sunburn, so my left bicep was sunburned pretty bad for about 3 days. It was great.
I got no trouble. I sleep just fine. Wake in the morning to some sweet sunshine. Ain't got nobody.
And if you are doing any welding and are not familiar with it, apparently you have to tack it, which is just welding the two pieces together just like little tiny points, because if you just go bananas and weld one whole side and then go to weld the other side without tacking it, apparently it will make it misshapen. It'll twist toward whatever side that you welded first. So always tack it. And in case anyone's wondering, this is 1/2-inch rebar. And where I got the idea for this, I was talking with a Marine dude, and I was showing him some of the other axes that I'd made, regular wooden handle, and he said, "Hey, have you done a rebar?" I said, "No." And other than it looking kind of neat, I mean, you could use it. but I don't know. It was something to do. It's just kind of
Nothing but fire.
proof of concept, I guess.
Got my baby. And it ain't hard to see. Well, I might not be a rich man, but I got all I need. Well, I don't have much of nothing, baby, but I got all I need. Well, my baby's got that something, y'all, that gives me everything, everything I ever need. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was trying to get the inside shape of the blade, and it worked pretty well. I didn't really have to bend anything. You just heat it up, and the gravity just did the job there, so I didn't have to do too much. But it wasn't quite. I needed the shape of that pipe, and the pipe wasn't quite tall enough. And so this is me doing it wrong.
To me, hold up your head for what's best for you. You get knocked down to your knees, child, it's gonna hurt. Get yourself up, back on your feet, and wipe off the dirt. Are there ain't no telling what the world's gonna throw on you? Learning the wrong way ain't nothing new.
Finally managed to get those two little pieces of wood underneath there to get it to the proper height, which allowed me to get it to the appropriate bend that I wanted. But then the wood pieces got stuck underneath it.
Blue sky up above, you gotta stare at a little rain. Ain't no living in the name of love is ever done in vain. And every sunrise on another day is another chance to smile.
My brother-in-law happened to be walking by, and I needed another set of hands because I couldn't heat it up and hammer on it all at the same time.
Every mile.
So it worked out well that he just happened to be walking by there. I apologize for the shaking camera. Trying to get see if it got close to the shape I wanted.
Just who we are, 'cause with hard times, heartaches, and scars. Oh,
My intention on this was to make the entire axe out of a single piece of rebar. I wanted to have as few joints as possible, so if anybody did get this, it would be functional and there wouldn't be anywhere for it to break, theoretically. I don't know if anyone has noticed that snazzy welding helmet I'm using. It's got a very wide lens. I'd been using my grandfather's, which was probably older than myself, and the screen was permanently tinted and all that sort of thing. This one will, it's got different settings for grinding, welding, or doing this. It automatically tints. It is solar recharges itself. It's got something called True Color, which, the long story short, it doesn't look green when you're welding. You can actually see what you're doing. It's fantastic. And again, I'm 100% certain that is not new technology, but it's new to me. And I could have used another set of hands right here to hold the torch. It's kind of interesting, just trying to do all this by eyeballing it, not having a form or anything like that. You can see it's starting to take shape. So on this right here, I was trying to grind the 2 points where they connect to a fairly steep angle so I could clamp them together and weld them. So it basically had a larger surface area that it was sticking to, so hopefully less prone to failure. And this grinding is 20 times faster. This whole video is like 29 minutes and it's condensed about 3 days into 29 minutes. I was trying to get the concave shape in the top of the axe there, and it didn't really work. And I wanted to reinforce the blade So that's what I'm doing here. Again, no measuring, just eyeballing. And I didn't show, after I cut this to the appropriate length, I did have to bevel the edges so it would fit in that little arch right behind the existing metal on the blade. It took a long time to, I don't know, at least 30 minutes or so to get that where it would fit. And you can see it's not perfect, but again, my first time. And again, I'm tacking it before I actually weld the whole thing. That's some brilliance right there. This is more or less the first time I was using the flux core wire. It's better used for outdoors and that sort of thing. My welding skills at this point sucked. You know, obviously you want to make it look like a stack of dimes. But I'm a nurse by trade, so, and an artist, a professional hobbyist, I suppose, in my free time. So all this is kind of learning as I go. I've done 2 other rebar things, and the welds on those turned out much better. I figured out the proper angles, that copper tip that's covering the end there where the wire comes out. I don't even know what it's called, but I pulled it off so I could actually see what I was welding, because that copper tip is, I think that's meant specifically for gas, and being said I'm using the flux core, it already makes its own gas, so I didn't need that tip on there. Just all it did was obscure my vision.
So if you're lost, it's time to get found and stop messing around. Well, so what are you gonna do when the sky falls down on you and all that you have left is a truth? Stop
I'm just taping off the blade here. I'm not sure why I did that, because I was going to go back over it with a, you know, starting from like 125 grit all the way up to 4,000 to make it mirror-like finish. So it would have ground all the paint off. Yeah, I didn't do that on any of the rest of them. I'm just throwing some foliage green spray paint on there. This is one of the things that took me forever to find out how guys did this. Like I said, you've got all these videos of bits and pieces of how to do this, that, and the other. Trying to find this chipped, how to make this chipped flint look was a pain. I looked for a day or so, and I'm not computer literate in the slightest. But I looked for like several days, and I found actually only like 3 videos. They were very instructive, but I figured I'd, you know, do all this on one. So hopefully, you want to see how to tie the paracord handle. That's on this one. You want to see how to do the rebar. Learn how to do a crappy welding job, or my attempt at the chipped flint look here. Well, now you can find it all in one place. You know, and it's not perfect. I'm sure there's better ways to do everything. There always are, but anyway, this is how I did it on this one. I did learn a lot. So this is just cold bluing, like you would use on your gun. You just wipe it on there, give it about 30 seconds, let it dry. Then you go wash it off in the sink under water. Just kind of rub it, toothbrush, your fingers or something, and then go back and continue applying coats until you achieve the appropriate color that you wish. And you can see how it's overlapping on the blade, but when you go back and grind the blade with that, you know, 1,000 all the way up to 4,000 grit, it cleans that up. You don't even have to worry about. I mean, obviously, the less you can get on the where you don't want it, the better. But again, the sandpaper does the job. And this is the paracord handle. I was going to do something neat, and it turned out it was just easier just to wrap it around there as tight as I possibly could. And it's a real pain in the rear end trying to keep that paracord taut. And there's some guys that'll do that, and once they wrap whatever with that paracord, they'll take and dip it in boiling water, and it causes that paracord to shrink up even more. I did not do that on this. Well, for one, I don't have didn't have a pot really big enough to boil water into that you could dip the whole axe in. So
if you're looking for someone who knows meaning, love, respect, I got you, woman. If you're tired of feeling put down, run around second best, you know I wouldn't treat you that way. I pick you up and take you out, make you feel like you're the only one in town or in the world. Tell you, girl, that's how I feel. 'Cause when it comes
And I didn't really show it too well in the video, but once I made it down to the very end of the hilt, I had enough paracord wrapped over that I started wrapping it from the bottom and went about halfway up again to just give it a little bit bigger grip towards the bottom.
Sometimes it's pouring you a glass of wine, dinner and some candlelight on a Tuesday. Or Sunday watching sundown come around, you and I both feeling groovy, yeah. I'll lift you up, you can count on me.
Yeah, and having to hold that rope taut, I'm sure there's a way you can do that without giving yourself tennis elbow or carpal tunnel. I haven't figured that out yet, but I started wrapping it back up here and then forgot that you have to make the little loop. So I had to unwrap it.
I'll pick you up and take you out, make you feel like you're the only one in town or in the world. Tell you, girl, that's how I feel. When it comes to love, I'll be working overtime every day till I die, right here.
So I went back through, made the little loop up as high as I wanted the second wrap to go. And as you can see here in a second, I start wrapping back up. And then once you get to the end of how tall you want that second wrap to be, you put it through the loop, and then down towards the end of the handle, you pull, and that loose end, it tightens it up, and bam. And so before I show you the finished product with the big axe, after I made the big axe, I made a small rebar hatchet. I attempted to record it, and because it was somewhere around 116 outside, the camera kept overheating and shutting itself off, so I was not able to record any of it other than the final product once it cooled off a little bit. So this is the only place I've got to show it, so here it is. And the big reveal of the final project. Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thanks. The music on this video is courtesy of Casey James. If you would look him up, you won't be disappointed.